Hi guys, welcome back, and hi to Jessica as well. So today for our strengthening and toning, we're working on our triceps. So let's get started. Starting in a tabletop position, we can have 2 bricks nearby just to give us extra height. We're going to bring our elbows onto them and palms together in prayer. Then we're walking our knees back, dropping our head, our chest down to the ground. Stretching out through the triceps, warming up. We can stay here, or we can ease the hands back towards the very top of the upper back. Stretching out through your triceps, you can ease off and stretch back. And then releasing, moving our bricks away. Starting in your tabletop position, we're going to rotate through our shoulders and our wrists. So all we're going to do is twist around with the elbows, keeping the arms straight. A lot of the work we do today is going to be on our hands. There's going to be a lot of shoulders involved as well, so we just want to make sure our arms are properly warmed up, twisting around through the arms. Twisting around. Perfect. Staying with your palms down now, all we want to do is ease back, dropping our elbows down to the ground, pulsing for 2, and then coming into a low plank. So dropping down for 2, shifting forwards, dropping the hips low, pushing back, elbows down for 2, pushing forwards. Our knees are staying grounded. We're pushing back through the elbows but keeping the weight forwards and dropping forwards into our plank, staying strong through our core. You should feel the work happening in your triceps, so we're not bringing all the weight back to the hips, back into the lower body. We want some of the weight, the most of the weight, to stay through the upper body, through the arms. Pulsing back for 2, dropping forwards. Pulsing back for 2, dropping forwards. Warming up the triceps with some small movements to begin with. And moving on from here, we're going to continue to warm up through the shoulders now. So just rolling your shoulders backwards but staying in your tabletop position. It looks a little bit funny, but it's just the shoulders that are rolling around. We get a different feel when our hands are pressed against the ground. We can roll our shoulders around the other way as well, mobilizing into the upper back. From here, let's puff through some cat and cows. We're going to add on to this move. So we're rounding out into our spine and then lifting up our chest and our tailbone. Rounding out and puffing through with the chest. This is our base move. We're just going to add on from this. So from here, when we drop our chest low and we are lifting up with the chin and the tailbone, we're going to extend away with our right leg, pointing through the toes, lifting the leg up high, and then rounding out through the spine, drawing the knee in towards the chest. Extending out, pointing through the toe, rounding out, bringing the knee to touch the nose. But I hear you say, Kiara, this is not working the triceps, it's working the glutes. Well, fear not. When we extend the leg out, we're going to bend at the elbows, dropping our chest down to the ground, and then pushing back up, and continuing on with our cycle. We extend out, keep the leg lifted as we bend to the elbows, dropping the chest down, pushing back up, and then bringing the knee to touch the nose, rounding out through the back. Extending away, bending the elbows, dropping the chest down low, pushing back up, and continuing through with our cycle. So when we bend the elbows, we're keeping the elbows hugged in tight. They're not out, we're not being chickens, not today. They're hugged in close. We are tipping the weight forwards, pushing back up nice and strong. If you can try and get your chest to touch the ground, but we're keeping our chin lifted. And we may as well get into the glutes while we're there, but because the leg is elevated, then when we tip forwards, we're bringing more weight into the upper body, loading it even further. We can connect with the breath as well. So we exhale, the knee comes in. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, bending at the elbows. Inhale, pushing back up. Exhale, rounding through. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending at the elbows. Inhale, pushing back up. From here, we're going to keep the leg lifted and we're just going to focus on the pulsing down. So bring the chest down to the ground, pushing back through the arms, keeping the leg lifted, tipping forwards and pushing back up. Elbows are hugged in tight, keeping the leg elevated, keeping the chest lifted, tipping forwards, tapping down, pushing back up, tapping down and pushing back up. Still breathing, exhale and inhale, lifting back up and releasing. Just give a little wobble out, shaking out through the back. If you need to, then just come and rest down in your child's pose for a few moments. Big toes together, knees wide apart, sitting back on your heels, stretching your arms forwards. If you want as well, you can also bend at the elbows, palms together in prayer, easing the hands back towards the back of the neck, getting that stretch in your triceps. So the good news is we have a fresh leg to do all of the work on. The bad news is it's the same arms that we have to work with. So we are halfway through. So just to distract you, this is Jessica's Paw Patrol toy. She likes to play with it. That's her toy of the week at the moment. So let's get cracking. Other side. So we're going to start how we started last time, through our cat and cows, lifting at the chest, lifting at the tailbone, rounding out through your spine. Just with our cat and cows, lifting at the chest, lifting at the tailbone, rounding out through your back. From here, let's add on our leg as well. So we're lifting up the chest. And we're going to extend away with the left leg this time, pointing into the toes. Then rounding out through the back, bringing the knee in, touching the nose to the knee, and extending away. Rounding out through your back, drawing your knee in, and extending away. Gradually building up the move. Next time your leg is extended out, let's bring back our press. So we round out through our back. We extend away with the leg, bending at the elbows, lowering the chest down, pushing back up to the top. Rounding out, bringing in the knee, extending out, pointing through the toe, bending, keeping the elbows in close, and lifting back up to the top. We are still breathing. Exhale as we lower. Inhale, pushing back up. Exhale, rounding out through your spine. Inhale, extending back out. Following the flow of your breath. Slow and controlled movements. Controlling every aspect of the move, not relying on momentum. And if your knee feels uncomfortable, the knee that we are resting on, then just make it more comfortable. Put a cushion under there, put another blanket under there, a towel, folding up your mat. From here, let's keep the leg lifted as we focus back on our press. So pressing the chest down to the ground, pushing back through the arms, back up to the top. Tipping and pressing, pushing. Keeping the leg high, keeping the elbows hooked in tight. Exhale, inhale, pushing back up. And resting back down. Have a little wiggle out, whatever feels good. Resting back in your child's pose if that's what you prefer. Getting the stretch in your triceps as well if that feels good for you right now. From here, let's make our way into the prone position, laying on our bellies. We're going to work on our baby cobra, so we're going to hook our elbows in tight, our hands are out by the sides of our chest. All we're going to do to begin with, engaging your mulla bandha, your root muscles, we're pressing through the hands, lifting up and lowering back down. Pressing through the hands, lifting up the chest, elbows hooked in tight and lowering back down. So we don't want to fully extend out through the arms, we always want to keep the slight bend going on. Keeping the elbows tucked in tight, smoothly pushing up and smoothly lowering back down. From here, let's change up the tempo. So we're going to push up for 3 and lower down nice and smooth. So staggering the push up, we push up, push up, push up, and smooth back down. Staggering for 3, 2, 1, lowering, smooth down. 3, 2, 1, smooth back down. So we're making the work harder because we're staggering. We are forcing our body to stop. And now we're going to reverse the move. So we're going to push up into our baby cobra, staggering back down for 3. Pushing up smooth, staggering down for 3, 2, 1. Smooth up, jagged back down. Controlling the move, controlling the drop, controlling the push. And resting back down, stacking your hands one on top of the other, resting your head. Relaxing through the upper body. From here, let's come the more difficult way up to our downward dog. So start in our Sphinx pose. Curl your toes under, lift up to plank, and then push up into your dolphin. From here, press through the hands and push up into a downward dog. Huzzah! We are there. Now that we're there, let's roll through some vinyasas. So we're going to roll through into a plank position. We're going to bend at the elbows, dropping the chest down to the ground, pushing up to the baby cobra. Pushing back up to our downward dog, rounding out through the spine, coming into plank, dropping, bending at the elbows, pushing up to baby cobra, not up dog, baby cobra, and pushing back up to down dog, rounding out, bending at the elbows, staying strong as we lowered the chest, elbows in tight, pushing up to baby cobra, pushing back to our downward dog. So the reason we're going to baby cobra rather than our up dog is because it's more intense on our triceps, and we are trying to target in the triceps today. Keeping the elbows hooked in tight as we bend down, sweeping up, pushing back, holding back in our downward dog. Let's just pedal out through our heels. Let's target more on our triceps now. Staying in our downward dog, we're going to bend, tapping the elbows down to the ground and pushing back up to down dog. So tapping down to dolphin, pushing back to down dog, dolphin, down dog, dolphin, down dog. Keeping that straight line from our elbows to our hips. And coming back to rest down in our child's pose, resting our upper body. Now let's just flip ourselves over so we're sat down on our bum. We've got a little flow that we're going to go through that's strengthening through the upper body. It's going to target all of the body. It's a bit of fun, really. Your fingers can be pointing towards your toes or out towards the side, whatever is more comfortable for you, but not pointing away from the body. If you've got short arms, then feel free to grab your bricks and place them there underneath your hands. We're going to start by pushing up into our reverse plank position, lifting up the chest. Then we're sitting our bum back down. We're going to flick our legs up and overhead into our plow pose. Then we're going to roll ourselves up, catching ourselves in our butt pose, lengthening through the spine. Lowering down the legs, coming into our forward fold. And repeating exactly the same again. So hands are down on the blocks or to the ground. Pushing up with the hips, opening up through the chest into our reverse plank. Dropping the bum down. Flicking our legs over into our plow pose. Rolling through, lifting up into our butt pose. And lowering down into our forward fold. Just a few more times. So hands by the sides, with or without our bricks there, pushing our hips up high. Lowering the bum down. Flicking the legs up and overhead. To our plow pose, rolling up, catching ourselves in our butt, continuing rolling forwards into our forward fold. Just a few more times, with or without the bricks, it is up to you. Fingers either pointing out to the side or back towards your feet on our reverse plank position. Strong through the core, controlled throughout. Holding for a moment in each pose before moving on to the next one in our little flow. From here we can do this next bit sat down if it's comfortable for you. You can be standing if you prefer. If you've got our bricks, then just have them in your hands. We're going to tip our body forwards, hinging from our hips by keeping our arms straight. Our arms are going behind and we're just going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, pulsing up and down with the hands. If you don't have the bricks, then just palms are flexed. Fingers are pointing down. Arms are still straight. We're just pulsing up and down, just like with the bricks. It's up to you whether you want them there or not. From here, let's move on. Keeping our arms straight, we're trying to bring our hands to touch behind our back and extending away. Fingers to touch and away. Fingers to touch and away. Keeping our arms straight, keeping the arms lifted as high as you can behind your back. Hinging your body forwards as we do this. Moving on, let's rotate through the palms, rotating through the arms. Twisting around through the arms. Flexing back through our palms, let's create little circles, circling around one way with both arms together, circling one way. And circling the other way. The higher your arms are lifted, the more you're going to target into your triceps. Last little move, all we're going to do is hinging from the elbows, forcefully pushing away, pushing away, pushing away, pushing away. Extend your arms up to the sky, palms meeting at the top, elbows hugged in tight. We're just going to drop the hands down to the back and lifting back up, down to the back of the neck, lifting back up. Elbows are hugged in tight. Let's add some pulses. 3, 2, 1, extend. Pulse. 3, 2, 1, extend. For these last moves, you can add a weight if you want. Let's stretch out now. Extend your left arm up to the sky. Drop the hand down between the shoulder blades. Right hand just holds onto the elbow. Or if you want to, you're a little bit more flexible, then take that other hand, your right hand, around behind your back And we're trying to interlace the fingers behind the back. Staying here or taking a tip over towards the right side, getting more of a stretch through the triceps of the left side. Lifting back up to the middle, other side, right arm stretches up, dropping the hand down between the shoulder blades, holding onto your elbow with your left hand. Option to take that bind behind your back. Lifting up with the chest, staying here, or taking the tip over to the left side this time. And lifting back up to the top. Shaking out through your arms, doing whatever feels good. And well done, guys. That is your tricep workout. Feeling stronger already? I'm sure you are. So is Jessica. Stronger by association. Have a nice day, whatever you're doing, and as always, stay safe.